Hello, Gemini. Thank you for tuning in. I'm starting a new segment, love segment. For the tarot cards, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot by Paul Foster Case and Arthur Edward Waite. And for the supportive oracle cards, I am using the Romance Angel Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. I'm only pulling them out, though, if it seems like they're necessary. I'm doing the first half of this relationship, if you're already in a relationship. The second half, if you're single. So, let's go right into it. Things seem to be like... I think I'm actually going to do some oracle cards for you. I feel like the relationship you're in right now you're happy with, but circumstances may not be exactly what you want, but the person... Is that wrong? Let's let this unfold a little bit, because something seems a little... Alright, so, wait a minute here. This is someone who's in a relationship, Gemini. What's holding you back? You're feeling like things are lost. The other person is not bending. It's kind of a jumbled mess here, which isn't bad. It seems like things are blurring into each other, and it's causing a little bit of confusion. Gemini is very complex and goes in a lot of different directions at once, which is clear. I know that the sign is the twins and they go 2 different directions, but sometimes I feel like they go in 6 different directions at once. They're extremely mentally capable of doing a lot of things at once and keeping track of it all in their brain, which sometimes I feel like makes them seem like they're a little airheaded, but I don't believe that's the case. I feel like it's just the way they come off because there's so much going on behind the scenes, behind the eyes. Now, what is going on here? I feel like the other person isn't giving you something you want. But I feel like you're really trying to get it. They have something you want, but you're not getting what you want. They're like holding the control on the situation. And you want to do something that they're not letting you do. That's what's holding it back. Now, there's whatever this is you want to do, I feel like it's just you want them to do it with you, and they don't want to do it. But I feel like what moves this forward is that you do what you want on your own. Okay. So it's almost like you're both doing different things. Okay. I'm just not exactly sure that on the level we're going here, because when I see where where you currently are, you got the King of Cups and the Nine of Cups, which makes me feel like you're happy in this relationship. Okay. But whatever it is you want to do, you're trying to get them to do it with you. And there's something that they're holding back, but you have to do it on your own. Now, is this something where you have to... Like, I don't feel like they're even giving to you in a monetary sense, but you're trying to see if they will help you out. It's a general read, so I'm trying to get like I feel like you're trying to get their support in some sense, and they're holding back, like, financially, I feel like your partner's holding back. You got the King of Pentacles, then you got the Ace of Pentacles on their side, and the cards that are matching, like, the next step is them with the Ace of Pentacles, but you have the Three of Swords, which makes me feel like you're not getting what you want here, and you're kind of like why can't you just help me out with this? Like, there's something you want to do and they're not giving you the money to do it. And you're asking for a little and they're like, they won't. At least not at that part. And I feel like they're holding back this money. I'm feeling it twice. Like, I'm feeling like I don't feel like you're giving up, but they're not, like, I feel like you're either not getting very much or not anything. Not much. They're very limiting on what they're willing to contribute to this situation. Okay. And to get the situation to move forward, I feel like you have to start creating that on your own. I feel like you might be pulling other resources. Other resources you really didn't want to, but you have other ideas and you're pulling backing information, backing sources from different places. So somebody else I feel like is kind of helping you out, and you are getting help going forward the way you want. But I don't feel like your partner is really giving you that financial support, which is kind of, I feel like, and being also interpreted as like emotional support in a sense too, because they're not helping you and you want them to, but they don't. I feel like they don't believe in whatever it is. Either they think it's just a flash in the pan of quick thought, or they don't think it's going to have longevity. One of the two. Either they don't really think it's going to work out, or they think your interest in it isn't going to last. Okay, so I feel like what they're doing, they have the hermit on their side too. Like, they're watching, they're trying to see how long your interest is going to last, and they may give a little more depending how long this lasts and how far they feel you're really into it. Okay. I feel like it does weigh on them though. The fact that you want this, it does hit with them, and they do have concerns about it. But I feel like what they're mostly thinking, it's just not going to last. Like, it's just a momentary interest you have, and they're not willing to sink the money into it. Okay. They get the codependency here. They're like, I feel like they want to. They feel like if they do this, like, it's just like it'll be one after the next. It'll just be wasted money here. Almost like you have an interest in a hobby, and they'll invest in the hobby, but then you move on to a different thing, and then they'll invest in that, and you move on to a different thing. That's how they're viewing it. They just don't feel like you're really that interested, that you're just, something caught your eye, but they think it's going to pass. So they're just kind of weathering the storm, but they do care, and they are concerned about how you feel. They're just like, we can't just keep going all these different directions. I feel like also, it might be like a cooperative account, and you have to have, well, it's like if you just go out and spend something, there's going to be hell to pay for it, so you're trying to get them on board, but they won't go for it. But I do feel like the relationship's good. It's just you can't seem to go in the direction you want on a whim. Alright, so now what helps the situation is I feel like they feel like they were right. However this pans out, they feel like they were right. Now, I'm thinking some of you are going to take a slower start to this situation and find other ways to start it. But I almost feel like part of this is they might have helped you just, like, do a little something. Like, instead of, like, I don't know why this has come through. Like, if it was a sewing class or something along those lines, instead of, like, buying the machines and all the fabric and all the tools, they'll be like, well, there's a class going on at the community college. Why don't you take that and we'll go from there? So, like, they're willing to help you with that. But you want to do more. You don't want to start slow. Now, this is going to definitely depend on how it hits for you. I feel like some of you are going to walk away from the idea. Others of you are going to find a different way to make it happen. Especially with Gemini. Not the easiest of people to hold on to, but in the sense of, like, Geminis are the ones I've experienced, they're very smart, but a lot of times you won't realize they have other ideas about things they can do. Sometimes they take a quick left turn and you didn't see it coming. I know a couple Gemini that are actually smart, but they're so caught up in their own head that people around them don't think they're as smart as they are. And like if you really sit down and find out what they can do, they are smart. It's just that they're so caught up in their head that people don't connect with their intelligence. It doesn't come across or read as easily. That being said, because I'm getting like I feel like if they're taking it as if you're just kind of like, if your partner isn't really like thinking it's a thought out, it's just a quick harebrained whim, I feel like that's more going to go like you're going to start thinking of other ways to make it happen. But when I'm seeing the quick left turn person, actually I'm thinking you might do something else. Okay. I feel like they're watching too. They are watching. They're waiting it out. And if you do get a little deeper into it, I feel like they'll give a little more. But the partner I'm seeing, whoever you're with, I feel like they're giving slowly. They're like slowly watching. And they're like, well, if it does really start to become something, we can invest a bit more into it. We can do that. But I want to see how far this is really going to go. I feel like they're really thinking it's either not going to last, that you really don't have that much interest, or it's just like it's just not going to last. That's what I feel like. That's what they're worried about. This is going to be wasted money, and you're just going to let it go and move on to something else. I feel like that's the biggest piece on their side. And what helps it is like one of two things: you either drop it and go in a different direction, or you find a different way to make what you want happen. Like you find a different resource to get the things you want. I feel like some of you might be like kind of like almost like an apprenticeship type thing. Whatever this situation, or like it might be sort of like a side business thing. You might have a mentor that you could help out that mentor and learn things, and maybe be able to use their equipment for a while, like as in trade. Like you help them with some things. They let you use their machinery for what you want to do. I feel like that could be a level here, depending on how this is hitting for you. I feel like there's other people around her that are going to help you out. It's just that you're kind of like, I wish my partner would be a little bit more supportive, but they're looking at it like, I feel like they're looking at it like this has happened before, there's been other things, and I've given to that, but it hasn't panned out. So they want to see more stability with the situation before they get too deeply involved. And I feel like, especially if you have that mentor thing going, that will be the proof you need, because like, as it goes on, like, it'll be like 3-4 months before they're willing to really step in and help you. Like once they're like, all right, not only are you really committed to this, it seems like, I feel like in that time frame you're going to feel like you're kind of good at it. If you're sticking with it, I'm thinking you probably are. And that'll change things and move things in your direction. I don't feel like you'd be surprised about this reaction though. Okay. So I feel like it's just kind of like waiting it out. Some of you I do feel are going to kind of like take a different path. But it's going to be kind of a little disconcerting that your partner didn't just go, okay, and go along with what you want. In the long run, I feel like it'll work out to your benefit whatever way you choose. Okay. Alright, so that's the relationship side. Let's do the single Gemini. I'm also getting for the relationship, before I completely leave that energy, whatever the interest you have is, at the end of this, like you either, if you walk away, you're done with this, or if you continue with it, you're going to stick with it for a while. It's like a new beginning, like something you're going to keep around for a while. So I feel like at this end part, I'm touching over here, not that you can, there's nothing on the table now. When you're moving on from this situation, if you're still sticking with this situation, it's probably going to last for a few years. But if you decided to put it to the back burner, it's going to fade away. And that's probably the end of it. Okay. Which is all up to how you feel, what you want to do with it. And I feel like some of you are just going to abandon it basically because your partner doesn't support it. Alright, Gemini, single Gemini. Single Gemini. Okay. Oh. Gotta stop reacting to cards at first blush because the rest of the thing, not the bottom card. No, yes, yes. All right. I guess for you, we're going to use both. In both readings, we're going to use the oracle cards. Seems warranted. What are you going towards here? Now, around you, the Lovers is in your environmental. The Lovers card showed up. You also have the Ten of Cups in your future, which is really having a good time with somebody. But there is conflict here, I'll be honest with you. I'm seeing some conflicts, and I'm trying to figure out what exactly the conflict is for you. Granted, it's a general reading, but if this hits... is this a repeat situation? Alright. Put down. This one? No, I'm getting no. Leave it alone? Alright, so I'll leave it alone. Alright, now... what is going on, Gemini? Because there's love in your... there's love in the air. There's love in the air, and there's an attraction. Somebody is attracted to you very strongly. And I feel like this kind of like this is very, you like this. Let's put it that way. You like this. You're impressed with this. It's nice. But I feel like this is a repeat. So if this is hitting for you, I feel like this is a repeat from somebody you've been around before. Somebody you've walked away from before. Even though it's a general read, I feel like if this is hitting for you, this is somebody you've walked away from before that is trying to come back in. And I feel like they're impressing you and they're like saying all these nice things to you. And you're kind of getting, they're wooing you over with it. And I feel like when you look in the past, you feel like you were a little naive and you kind of went along with things, and things kind of fell apart. And like you got out of that situation. I feel like you made a good decision getting out of it. I feel like these two cards in the past are saying you didn't realize what was happening. Once you did, you kind of got out. I feel like it might have been one of those things where you didn't realize what was actually happening behind the scenes with the other person. And then once you did, it was a, depending, like it's a general read. I feel like some of you just kind of turned off emotionally in a sense, and it was just like a slow skid to the end. So that seems to be how that's feeling for this. I also feel like this person, I feel like they're attractive to you. And it's hard to say no to them. And it's not like you don't want to say no, but it's just like, I feel like they're really wooing you over. Now, I feel like there's, when this starts up again, I feel like this is a repeat, I really do. So if this is hitting for you, I feel like this is a repeat. I feel like there's people that love you that are like giving you a hard time about it. But you're having these feelings. And I feel like I'm feeling like the weight of the world here. Like, why can't people just let me make my own decisions? I feel like that's what's coming across here. But I feel like it's people who love you and they're concerned. There's something about this person that other people just they really don't like, and I feel like they know the situation that's passed before, and they're upset about it. I feel like they're giving you a hard time about it because they don't want to see you end up in the same position again or worse. But I feel like you're kind of already, by the time you start talking about it, your heart has already started moving forward. Okay. Where you're standing is memories. Like, I feel like you might be romanticizing the past a bit. I feel like you might be concentrating just on the good and trying to forget the bad, but you might want to reevaluate what went wrong and why, and try to keep an eye out to see if you think those red flags are still in existence. Alright, so when you go into the future, I'm going to say this one first. The Ten of Cups. Like, I feel like this is starting off again. And I feel like you're very happy about it and everything looks great. And I don't know how long this is going to last because it's a general read, definitely. Could last a couple months, this feeling. But where I am seeing this end off is I see these You Deserve Love with the Hanged Man and the King of Rods. I'm feeling like you're seeing it happen again. I'm thinking you're seeing the repeat. I'm kind of getting like a cycle feeling. But I feel like you're kind of feeling stuck. At first you feel I feel like it's almost like a shock that it's happened again. And like, for some of you, I feel like you're going to see the red flags. And you're going to see the red flags and you're going to follow them to find out is it happening again? Is the same thing? Is this a repeat? Did it really happen again? And I feel like you're going to find that and be a little shocked. And I feel like at this point, you might just I think you might just cut your losses and go. I feel like you just might walk away and just cut off communication. I feel like there might be like a stone cold, don't contact me again feel here. Like I feel like you'll say that to whoever this person is. You'd be like, you know what, just don't contact me again, ever again. And you'll walk away and you'll cut them off like cold turkey as much as you can. There's a few of you I feel like you might be working with this person, so that might be a little bit more difficult. But it'll be a cold relationship, even if that's how you have to. If you're stuck doing that, I feel like you're going to be kind of cold and like, just the facts. I don't need to know anything about your life, and I'm not telling you anything about mine. Because I feel like this, like when this repeats, you're going to be angry. But you're not going. I don't feel like you're causing a fit, but you're just like, I'm done. That's it. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Don't bother with me again. You're still who you were, and I don't know why I gave you a chance. I feel like that's going to come out. Now, with the Ten of Cups in the future, like I feel like some of you are going to move in. And if you're seeing this at the right time, maybe you want to hold off on that because of this. I would hold off. If it's hitting for you, I would hold off for a couple months and just really look it over, really think about it. You know, I would really give it a few months. And then when the red flags start showing up, it might be easier to step away. I feel like even if some of you, I feel like a lot of you are going to want to move in. I'm feeling that. And I feel like a lot of you are, but I also feel like a lot of you move out just as fast. Okay. Alright, so I feel like this is kind of, if this is hitting at the right time, I feel like this is a warning. The person around you, I do feel like they care. Whatever the red, no, it depends on the red flags. You got to be careful because whatever the red flag was before, there was a reason you left, and I feel like this reason is gonna. I don't feel like it's gonna be any less, even though they're attracted to you and they care about you or they have those feelings towards you as much as they can, depending on the situation. I feel like whatever's going on, it's completely unacceptable to you. Unacceptable to you, and if this reading is hitting at the right time, you're gonna like. I feel like you're going to be kind of in that mode where you kind of want to move towards them and kind of move in, but it's the whole warning of the reading is to hold off and just stay on your own. And within like 3 to 4 months, probably more than likely sooner than that, more like 2 to 3, but I'd give it 3 to 4 months. If it's still good and you haven't really seen any red flags, or you have and you've searched them out and they're not what you thought, well, that's one thing. But I feel like most of you are going to end up moving in because you feel everything's beautiful, you're very happy. And then the red flags start to show up, and you're like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna squelch this. I'm gonna follow these red flags just to prove they're not really happening. But I feel like they are happening, and when you see that, I feel like you're shocked. I feel like you're really shocked. Even though it's happened once before, your heart is like doing the forgive and forget thing. Like you're forgiven for the past. You forgot exactly. I feel like you forgot certain details. Let's put it that way. And when they start showing up again, you're just like, that can't be happening again. And you follow them out, and it's happening. And then you're like, I'm out. And then I feel like you literally say to that person, don't contact me again. Don't talk to me. don't even come near me. If I walk down the road, if I see you, I promise you, I'll go the other way. If you see me, don't talk to me, or please go a different direction, because I don't want anything to do with you. I feel like there's going to be that type of feeling going on. Okay. All right, so I think I feel like I just rehashed that for you. I apologize. So I'll leave that there. Thank you for watching this reading. This is the love segments. I think I'm going to keep going with them like every other week. Like this week will be love, next week will be general, the week after that be love. I think I'm going to flip-flop them back and forth. Let me know if these helped you. I know it's general, but if I get enough good responses, I think I'm going to keep going like this. Of course, if you'd like if you'd like to purchase a reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.